I want you guys to watch a little short video here before we get going. This is a woman named Gao Fu, and I have never seen any videos of her before. She passed away a number of years ago, probably 20 years ago. But she was a student of Grandmaster Feng, a direct student, and they had a real special relationship. She's a very special student. Um, this is a terrible quality video from when she went to Sweden to teach. But if you if you watch her closely, you can learn a lot about Tai Chi. And keep in mind, she did not even start her first lesson until she was 55 years old. So let me put this on share again. They all start the same. They all start the same way. All the forms. She has beautiful form. I see. She's in a horse stance there. She never drops out of the horse stance. So what Gao Fu was practicing there is called the 48 form. That's about half the length of the actual full practice form. And there's there's one practice form in the Ilu series. That's the series that we're paying attention to, the really slow series. And there's a sister form in the fast series. So those two big series are something like 156 moves all together. The form that we're learning is just half of that. I don't mean they divided it in half. It's just half the length. That includes many of the same moves, but it's a 24 form. But you can see why we're not doing the bigger forms. They are massive, and it takes a long time to just get yourself to the place where you can even do them and absorb them. But watching her, she is a wonderful practitioner. Her science is really good. It's very solid. Her craft is excellent. Craft is something that people don't think about too much, I think, when they're learning Tai Chi, because you're just trying to remember what the basic moves are. But did you notice how she played the air when she would move? You know, it was a fast move, and then she would just play the air, and a fast move, and then play the air. And you think about that, what that does for your audience. It's hypnotic. Right? You watch her because you're watching her play the air. It's like a soloist instrumental musician who's playing and who is smart enough to leave a lot of silence within the music itself. Even when they're playing a note, they play it in a way that reverberates into that silence. So it's not just all noise, it's a little bit of both. All right. Any comments?
I loved it. I'd like to watch it 100 times. She made my body feel really, really good.
Yes.
And the proportions of her body are excellent.
Yes, she's really built for this art.
She is built for that. And the other thing is her balance is solid.
Very solid.
Yeah. And she could get way, way down and move in and out of it.
However, you should know she had a bad back. One of the reasons she got into Tai Chi at age 55 was she had been injured, and she had a really bad back. And through years of really intense practice, this woman would practice 4 to 6 hours a day, every day. And that's actually kind of what it takes to get to her level. She's definitely at the master level. It's very rare for a person to really get to that level. And she's just got, she's the it girl. She's one of my heroes in Tai Chi, because you can see what she's doing and begin to appreciate the decades of really hard, dedicated work that it took to get there. And very few people have either the time in their life or the motivation to do it. So when I look at her and Master Feng, dealing with Master Feng is very difficult, because she's at a higher level than I am, and Master Feng was at a much higher level than she is. Feng was so good, you couldn't even see it unless he showed it to you. He's just sort of fooling around, and then people would go flying, and he would do his forms. Some of his younger forms, we'll watch one of those in the next couple of weeks, maybe. We'll watch his 48. So it's one of my favorite all-time Tai Chi videos, is Master Feng doing the 48. It's very different. Everybody's Everybody's got
Different
their
flavor.
own flavor, exactly, and that's what you want to bring out is your own individual flavor. But what I get out of watching Gao Fu is this is not really about Tai Chi. It's about your relationship with yourself. It's about taking a lute, musical instrument, a lute that is unstrung, and stringing it and tuning it so you can play beautiful music. All right? All our bodies are, not everybody. People can achieve this in different ways. You can achieve it playing basketball. All right? But what it is it's a discipline. It's about disciplining yourself and finding possibilities in yourself and in your body that you, in a way, did not even dream of. And that's difficult to do. So I put Madame Gao Fu and Larry Bird up at the same level, right? They're doing different arts. But when I watch her, what I watch is someone in conversation with this art. In a sense, the art doesn't matter. What matters is the conversation. Anyway, that's my take on it. All right, let's do a little Fang Zhong Gong today.
Oh, Genevieve had a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Jill.
Oh, it wasn't a question. It was just to say happy birthday, and also to say for Gao Fu, you had shown us some still photographs a long time ago, like magazine covers she was on.
Right.
But I think this is my first time seeing her actually practicing. And what I had in mind from seeing the still photographs was someone who would be moving extremely slowly. So it was amazing to see how fast she could be, as well as how slow she could be. So I just wanted to thank you for showing the videos.
Oh, you are welcome. One of the reasons I'm showing you this, guys, is I had never seen any videos of her either until Kevin sent me one of those two videos we watched, the longer one, and I finally got a chance to see her move. And she's very, very good. And Genevieve, what you just said about she can move very quickly. But notice how she regulated the speed of her movement, sometimes very quickly, and then she would immediately go very slow, right? And then quickly, and then very slow. And that kind of hypnotic change of pace it's why we listen to jazz music, and it's why we watch Tai Chi, because it is really quite extraordinary for an artist to bring that out. Kevin.
What I like about this is that I've done this and I've watched videos for ages, and there's a huge difference between men and women doing this type of form, and the men put a lot of more macho into it, and the women that I've seen other than Madame Gao were more like artistic, not as much Tai Chi principle. And Madame Gao just puts it all together. I mean, she has the power and she has the grace, and it's not like fake. Fake, yeah, it's not the word, but that's the best I can do.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's full. It's full.
It's full and it's real. And Kevin, that's because she was working one-on-one with Master Feng. Master Feng really liked her personally. And he told her, I've got the quote written down somewhere. He said, anytime you want me to meet you, you call me and I'll meet you in the park and we'll do a session. And they did that for years and years. And he never accepted any money for it. He just did it because he liked her. And the reason he liked her, I think, was partly just because of who she is, but also what came out of who she was she was dedicated to practice. She was dedicated, and it shows. She went from ground zero to a really high level in about 20 years or so, from 55 to 75. So she was probably 75 years old in that. How many other 75-year-olds do you know who could do that? Who could do those moves?
That were so comfortable.
And she was very comfortable.
She was
The birthday boy.
Oh, well, yeah, well, maybe if Birthday Boy lost 30 pounds, he could do some of those. Yeah, she is truly inspirational as a person, as well as a Tai Chi player. At least she is to me. I just love her, right? Any other comments? All right, let's do a little phone. Jill.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, when I was watching her, it was like watching like a river spirit.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. That gives me a chance to say this. If you guys can remember that stance she was taking on the pier in, I don't remember. I think she was doing this one,
yeah.
right? There's a phrase for standing like that. It's in Chinese. It's called standing like a mountain. And it's the first half of a little 2-line poem. Stand like a mountain, move like a river, right? That comes out of the martial arts, and that's exactly what she does. When you watch her move, she's constant, in a sense, it's constantly changing because of the change of pace, right? It's constant. It's slow, and then fast, and then slow. It's exactly like a river, right? You go down to the Columbia and just watch the Columbia flow. There are little eddies going backwards, and there's the main channel in the middle that's just rushing down. You get all those different emphases and speeds going on just in what you can see right in front of you, and that's exactly what she was doing. She's we'll have to play another. There's another student of Master Feng's, a Japanese Zen master. He's the Zen master of Nojin Temple, and he loved what Feng was doing, and he got into it and worked with Feng. Feng had a real connection with the Japanese students. Went to Japan many times, and if you've never seen a video of him doing these forms, it's really quite extraordinary. And some real resonances between what Gao Fu was doing and what is his name? I can't remember his name right now. But you watch them and you go, oh, okay, these guys are in the same club. They're in one way they're quite different, but in another way it's like, yeah, okay, they're almost like a brother and sister. Okay, let's do some movement, right? Fang Zheng Gong. reverse. Remember when you do these exercises, and this is a general principle, make sure not to hyperextend your knees or your elbows. It's very easy to do. It's a habit a lot of people have. Hyperextension is straightening them out and even locking the joint. All right? If you do wrestling or push hands, you will learn very quickly never to do that, because it means that you've taken all the flex out of those joints. And if anybody bumps into the joint, suddenly you have a broken joint. So you want to make sure, go back and watch Gao Fu, because I am going to post those. And you'll see that she always keeps her elbows bent. All right? And you learn in push hands, you just always do that, because you never know when your partner's going to make a move that might threaten one of your joints if you don't pay attention to this. It's the same with the knees. You never, ever lock your knees back. A lot of people actually stand that way. There's different psychological reasons for each of those, but just sort of keep it in mind that you want to keep not your knees bent, but flexed. Right? So there's just a little flex in them, and the same with the elbows too. All right? So I'm not going to do this. It's just nice and open. A little bend in the elbows. Another way to say this is a general principle in Tai Chi and Qigong, is you don't go between 0 and 100%. You go between 20% and 80%. Right? You don't, in other words, you don't take it to extremes. Not hot, but warm. Not cold, but cool. You stay in the warm to cool, not the hot to cold. When you go out to extremes, that's when injuries happen and other things. All right? So one of the reasons you don't want to go extreme with your joints is when you get too hot with your joints, when you stretch them too far, the chi stops flowing. The chi likes a nice, comfortable curve to go through, and it likes a nice clear path to go through. So we're talking about a clear path. When you're, watch my elbow. When you're like this, it makes it very hard for the chi to move around that elbow. Does not like acute joints or acute angles, all right? It also doesn't like hyperextension. So you want to avoid those two extremes. And you may actually even be doing those extremes without realizing that you're doing them. So pay attention to what you're doing. When you come out, if you come out and then you just click into that extension, that's the extension. It's too much. Right? I'm hyperextending my elbows. Instead, right, you just want to open wide, but there's still a real appreciable flex in my elbows.
Arches everywhere.
Arches everywhere. Seriously. There's the theory of the 5 bows, as in bow and arrow, right? The bow is a bowed thing, and when you pull it, it gets even more bowed. You have 5 bows in your body: 2 arms, 2 legs, and your trunk. Master Feng used to say, if you can harness the energy of those 5 bows, you will have no opponent under heaven. Right? No one will be able to beat you. One more exercise. Right? Pouring gold. So, one last comment. You guys have probably all heard of the slow eating movement, right? Well, it's kind of a bigger deal 10 years ago. But the basic idea was that in our modern world, and who knows when that started, but in our modern world, we eat too fast. We've gotten into this idea that, you know, you start eating 5 minutes later, you're done. Slow it down. Give your body time to digest and absorb this nutrition, so they basically eat very slowly. I don't mean very slowly to take a spoonful of soup. I mean, you know, they take one mouthful and then they talk for a little while and then they take another mouthful. They just slow the whole process down. We're not machines. We're alive. And you have to pay a little attention to that. What we're doing in this particular Gong series, as well as the Hunyang Qigong in particular, is slowing down. It's slow movement on purpose. One of the benefits of that is it lets your internal body slow down. You're not just rushing to do the next thing, and I got to do this, and then I got to pick up the kids, and then I got to go to work, and then I got to... That's insane. So this is about letting everything slow down, and you'll know you've started to slow down when something happens in your body. And if you pay attention, you'll see this. All right? You do any of these exercises very slow. So as you start, you're probably going to be going too fast, and only gradually do you slow down a little bit, and then you start to slow down inside. And then what will happen is your spine in particular, maybe any of your joints, but your spine in particular will start to self-adjust. You'll start to go, it'll start to go crack, pop, and it's like, where's that coming from? It's habituated stress within your body. You're releasing this kind of just habituated stress. You think, well, I just got up an hour ago. Why would I be stressed? Yeah, well, that's the problem with habituated stress, is it builds up over time. And it just stays there until it gets released. Right? When's the last time you had a Mai Tai in a hammock on a beautiful tropical beach? My guess is probably a long time ago. It has been a long time for me. And all that time in between, the last time you were on a beautiful tropical beach and today, you're probably picking up a little stress. So this is a way of releasing it. It does other things too, but it really will release stress in the back and the pelvis, etc., and your ankles. Right? Okay, guys, have yourselves a great day. If you're going to stay for Tai Chi, give me 10 minutes or so. We'll see you in just a little bit.
I just wanted to mention when, particularly I forget what the first Gong.
The first one is called Balancing Yin and Yang.
My leg just lit up.
Oh,
It
good.
started buzzing. Yeah.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's why when you're injured and you can't stand up, or even if you're bedridden or something, you can do Qigong when you're bedridden. It's about relaxation and very gentle movement, and a lot of the movement's just in your mind, and you really will feel it. Excellent, good. Glad to hear it. Keep that chi moving.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. See you next time.